Hey guys, how's it going? It's Etanios, or Ethan here, and today I'm going to be talking about my plans for NHL 20, the upcoming game. So, NHL 20 releases in just less than 2 weeks. That's because I have pre-ordered the game. I can't remember what the edition's called right now. It's not the deluxe, the most expensive edition, but it still has the early access. So I will be able to play, I think it's called Early Access on September 3rd. And then the actual game releases, I believe, on September 10th. I believe it's September 10th. But there's at least up to 3 days of early access, so that's when I will be starting to release my franchise mode videos, as well as I might be doing some NHL 3s or Battle Royale, as well as I will also be releasing player creation videos. So if there are players like draft prospects as well as players that have just been drafted to teams, I will actually be going in, taking a look at all of their stats and creating those players in the game for my rosters, as well as you guys will be able to go on, look at what I've done and duplicate it so that it's about as realistic as possible. Again, I will need comments and feedback on that for it to work, but I'm excited for player creation videos as well as all the different franchise ideas that I have lined up here. So our first franchise mode, guys, is obviously going to be an Oilers franchise mode. Nobody has a say in that. I'm going to be doing an Oilers franchise mode no matter what. And for the first 5 seasons of this Oilers franchise mode, I will be releasing 2 to 3 episodes per season, depending on if we make the playoffs or not. And then for the next 20 episodes after that, they will all be full season episodes, probably closer to an hour long per video. And our goal is to break the Montreal Canadiens record of 24 Stanley Cups. Is it 24 or 23? I think it's 24. Yeah, okay, so the Canadiens do have 24 cups. We do have a +5 head start, but that means we still have to win the cup in 20 out of the 25 seasons, guys, with Edmonton. So it is going to be a very difficult challenge here. If we lose in 6 seasons in a row, then that goal has failed. Essentially, the franchise mode has failed. But the other goal that I kind of want for this Oilers franchise mode is to see players like McDavid and Draisaitl retire as Oilers and hopefully have them as coaches or scouts along that line. So that's going to be the Oilers franchise mode. That is a plan for it. Obviously, I'm going to need viewer feedback and comments on that just to make it go smoother. But moving on to our next franchise idea is going to be an expansion franchise. I've got 3 cities pegged out for what we could be using as franchise expansion cities. The first one obviously would be Seattle. Seattle's actually going to be getting an expansion team in real life in 2021. I'm so excited for that. I live in that Pacific Division. That is geographically where I live, so I might actually be able to go see Seattle games eventually once they're an actual franchise in the NHL. I'm excited for that in the future. But in NHL, not in real life, we could either use Seattle as a franchise, we could use Mississauga as a franchise, another big city in Canada that doesn't have an NHL team, or my third option, I only released 1 episode on my YouTube channel about this in NHL 19, but our third city could be Kansas City. I'd probably do the Cosmonauts again. I really liked how that turned out. Maybe change the color scheme on the jerseys and that kind of thing, but the Kansas City Cosmonauts would be our third option for the franchise mode. We could do, I don't know if it would be the Seattle Krakens or what we would name them. And then for Mississauga, guys, I actually created this in NHL 19, and it was called the Mississauga Trappers. And I created a very successful franchise there. I think they ended up winning 5 cups in a row, but that was also because of the way I drafted, and Lafreniere was insane, and that kind of stuff went on with Mississauga. But that could be another option for our franchise expansion team. I will end up doing 2 to 3 episodes per season with this. It's going to be very viewer influenced, so very comment heavy. I will be doing almost exactly what you guys say, what the best comments are, what people's opinions are, and essentially the goal is to rebuild in 3 seasons before we must make the playoffs, and essentially try to win the cup with, my goal is with only drafted players, so like Mississauga drafted players or Seattle drafted players or Kansas City drafted players. If we could do that and win a cup with just those players, that would be awesome. That would be one of my goals for it. But moving on to our last franchise mode now, it would be a relocation franchise mode, and your three options would either be the Colorado Avalanche back to the Quebec Nordiques. That would be awesome. I would love to do that. The second relocation could be the Florida Panthers, and I want to move them to Markham, Ontario, because Markham just got a brand new arena that is probably the biggest one in that. It would be the biggest arena in the NHL with a capacity of just over 20,000 people. But Florida to Markham could be our second option, and then third could also be the Arizona Coyotes moved to Houston, because Houston's one of the biggest markets, and that could be happening after 2021. Once Seattle gets their team, Arizona could be moving. So the team I had pegged out for Houston would be the Houston Hammerheads, like the Hammerhead Sharks. So those are my ideas here for NHL 20 franchise mode and what we're going to be doing with that. If you guys are looking forward to NHL 20 as much as I am, if you are into the NHL franchise and video game series at all, go down below and subscribe to the channel. What are you doing if you haven't done that yet? And that's going to be it. I hope you enjoyed. This is Etanios signing off, and see ya!